The Prime Minister's road to re-election may come down to flipping seats in New South Wales to offset likely losses elsewhere. One obvious target is Gilmore on the state's south coast, where the Liberals are banking on the personal popularity of star recruit Andrew Constance to overturn Labor's 2.6% margin. Trudy McIntosh has this Battleground breakdown from Gilmore.
New Year's Eve 2019. The Black Summer bushfires remain seared in the collective psyche on the New South Wales south coast. And voters here are preparing to give their verdict to the federal response at the ballot box.
Do you think his handling of the bushfires will really hurt him in a seat like this one?
I hope so.
What do you think he could have done better at the time?
Would just be here.
For many, recovery has been painfully slow.
The trauma out of the experience is very real.
Andrew Constance has swapped state politics for a tilt at federal parliament. Having defended his own home in Mooloolah Bay, he knows firsthand the ferocity from the fires.
The triggers are real, and I just don't believe that, there's politics in this.
But Scott Morrison's initial response did become political and then personal after this infamous handshake saw Constance criticise the Prime Minister.
The locals probably gave him the welcome that he probably deserved.
2 years on, Mr Constance makes no apologies for his frank feedback.
I'm fiercely independent, so what you see is what you're going to get. And I don't care if I'm speaking up for my community. I make no apologies for it. And to be honest with you, I reckon the PM would want me to do that.
He's taking on first-term Labor MP Fiona Phillips.
Confident I've done everything possible, but yeah, look, I'm taking nothing for granted.
In 2019, Labor benefited from coalition candidate chaos and won Gilmore off the Liberals. One of only 3 pickups across Australia in an otherwise poor performance.
Well, look, I think there was a lot of division this time as well. I've certainly seen that. Look, I just try to put that to the side.
Labor heads into this contest fresh from a historic by-election win in the overlapping state seat of Bega. Local obstetrician Michael Holland helped deliver the party a 12% swing. Bega was Andrew Constance's seat for 19 years. His face was plastered alongside the Liberal candidate, but it wasn't enough. On election night, Mr Constance pointedly praised Labor's star candidate.
And the connections that he had right throughout the community, that has worked in Labor's favour.
Liberals hoping that same sentiment will be on their side in Gilmore.
So I think that bodes quite well in that context.
He was a very good minister in the New South Wales Parliament, even though I'm not a big Liberal fan. I'm a bit of a fan of his.
Because he was impacted in the fires, right? So I think he has that local perspective.
He's the right bloke in the wrong party.
Labor have only won the seat of Gilmore twice since the 1980s, but the tide may be turning with a wave of retirees and professionals swapping Canberra for the coast. That demographic shift could benefit Labor.
Definitely we're seeing a trend where more people are moving to the electorate, and certainly COVID has been a big factor of that.
But the Liberals, at least publicly, don't buy it.
No, because it's always been the case.
As for his own political ambitions, if you get to Canberra, do you deserve a ministry?
No.
Not in the first term, or
No.
Why not?
I'm running for Gilmore. I'm not running to go and be a cabinet minister.
I'm going to call it here. I think Andrew Constance is a future leader of the federal Liberal Party.
And if the Constance for Canberra campaign doesn't succeed?
Well, that's not the plan. So we'll just deal with plan A, because plan A is it. There's no plan B.
Trudy McIntosh, Sky News in Gilmore.